Welcome everybody. I think we will get started now. Thank you for your patience and really sorry about the mix-up about the timing. Today's topic, we have an exciting topic, sales insights. I'm your host, Krishna. What do I do for Vtiger? I wear multiple hats, including product management, marketing, pre-sales, and support. The good news today is we will spend most of our time in the product. Please use chat if you have questions during the webinar. My colleagues are online and they will try to answer them. I will also leave 15 minutes for Q&A before we conclude the webinar. Okay, let's move on. So what is special about Vtiger Sales Insights? I can summarize this with 3 bullets. It is a reliable source to visualize and act on important aspects of your sales funnel and your sales team performance. You don't need to pull in data from different sources and generate ad hoc pivot reports and different kinds of charts. It's all there, ready to go as soon as you are. So let's look at the scenario for today's webinar. So to make it interesting, we're going to use a company called GrassPods, which specializes in audio-video retail. Recently, they have expanded to video surveillance systems. I'm the Inside Sales Manager using Vtiger Sales Insights. I have a well-defined sales process for my team at GrassPods. And it's also worth noting that Sales Insights works in the context of Vtiger Cloud CRM, and it is not a standalone application. Having said that, let's go for a test drive. Just 1 second, I want to make sure that everybody is able to hear. Okay, so we're going to start off with the overview of Sales Insights. The first thing, as a sales manager, there are a few things that I want to do so that the information presented to me is relevant to me. So I'm going to start off by choosing a few filters. The first one is selection of time, this time period for which you want to visualize and act on. I want to choose current year, 2016. This is going to be only Q4 of 2016 since we do not have any data prior to October. And then I'm going to go on the right-hand side here and select a few more filters. So I've already inside sales since that is my team, and I've defined a sales process, and these are the sales stages, and I'm going to ignore dormant and not sales ready opportunities from the insights. And then I have a mandate for every member of my sales team that they need to have an expected close date for every opportunity that they work on. This gives them certain discipline and also makes my job easier for accurate forecasting. So now that I have selected all the filters and that's squared away, let's close this out and jump right in. So I'm going to start with the open opportunities. These are the deals that are currently in the pipeline. So I see a number here, and I know this is slightly weaker than what it was in Q4 last year, and also Q4 last year was the best quarter GrassPods had in its history. So this number is actually not too bad. I mean, it's compared to last year. I mean, this is not great, but it's not that bad. For your business, you would actually need to know some insight on what is a good number and what is not good. Okay, and then as you visualize the sales progression here, I can see a lot of deals are in the early stages And when I go to the right-hand side, the later stages, the final stage ready to close, I have around 6%. So the distribution of the deals across the sales stages actually looks fine. And when I look at the win-loss ratio, my team has lost almost 36%, almost 37% of the deals. So I would actually like this to be slightly lower, and I want the win rate to be closer to 70%. So it's good to have some targets in mind, based on what is realistic, because without that, these numbers become just that. And when I look at the average opportunity age, it's 28 days, but when I look underneath, it tells me a complete story. So my team is able to qualify opportunities fairly quickly. When I look at this, they take less than a day, and they spend quite a lot of time in analyzing the needs. So this is important, but at the same time, it's close to 50%, and I would like this to be closer to maybe 35 or 40. So there's something that I need to do to ensure that we are able to do the needs analysis a little bit faster. And then the other stages, if you look at negotiation, this actually isn't too bad, and when it's ready to close, it has to close quickly, and it actually reflects what I expect. Then when I look at the top performers in my team, so I have Isabella, Samir, and Nathan. So it's good to know, who your star performers are for the selected period. And then I want to see what's cooking in the pipeline. What are the big deals that are expected to close in the time frame that I've chosen? So there are a couple of big opportunities here, one under Nathan and one under Isabella, so under capable hands, so which is good. And I see a red dot here, which usually means it's not good. What it means is this particular deal has been stuck for at least a month. So Eric, the owner of this deal, would have received a couple of notifications already. The fact that it's still stuck means that there may be something else going on. So what I would do is I would like the dot to either disappear and the deal to advance, or the deal to be made dormant or not ready to close, because I do not want to see stale deals in the top opportunity funnel because it distracts my attention. So this is something that I'm going to talk to Eric about. And the rest of the stuff actually looks good. And then going down, there are some key metrics for the top performers: the number of opportunities closed, the amount, and average time to close. So when I say average time to close, these are the opportunities that were actually won by the sales team. And it's also good to understand what the team actually lost. The troubling thing for me here is that when I look at building surveillance, all the opportunities that the team lost, the top 5 opportunities, pertains to building surveillance. So there's something fundamentally wrong in how we are selling this. And the other troubling thing is there is one deal, we have lost it even before we have made any contact. So that's kind of the quick overview of what is going on. And then what I want to do is I want to drill down and to see what the sales team is up to. Are they focusing on the right things? How many activities do the deals need to close, etc. So let's start off with the activity count and effort. I'm going to maximize the screen. Now I can clearly see here that both Isabella and Nathan have been busy with a lot of different activities on phone calls, emails, meetings, tasks, etc. Whereas Emily and Samir have been primarily focusing on phone calls and emails. So that is okay, because the customers that both Samir and Emily actually handle either depend on primarily interact with us via phone or email. Whereas both Isabella and Nathan tend to work on deals that actually has little more interaction with the customer, not just either a phone or an email. So this actually all looks fine. And the table below basically breaks the data presented in the chart. So I'm actually not going to go into the table itself, because probably that's not as interesting as the other stuff I'm going to show. Let's dive into activity efficiency. So for simplicity, I'm going to close off Eric and Emily, and we're going to visualize how Nathan, Samir, and Isabella have been working. One interesting thing here is on the y-axis, it shows the number of activities that it took to close an opportunity. Samir here looks good in October. He won 4 opportunities and having less than 1 activity per win. So this is good, but at the same time, Samir actually works. I'm aware that Samir actually works on opportunities. A lot of these are pre-qualified and repeat customers, so it does not actually require a lot of show and tell to complete the sale. Whereas both Isabella and Nathan have had a lot more activities, to close their deals. And something interesting has happened here. When I go to November, Samir actually has won 1 deal, but he's also spent a little bit more. He's done more with the opportunity than his usual what he did in October. And in December, we're not going to look at because we've not actually closed any opportunity yet that was supposed to close in December. So this kind of tells me how effective are the activities that are performed by your sales agents in making the deals convert. All right, now we're going to move into pipeline reports. Let's start with the pipeline activity by owner. This probably, for me, this is the most important chart that I actually usually start off with. On the y-axis, you have the deals, and higher on the scale, the bigger the deal is. And the bubble itself represents how much work is actually going into the deal. So if I see a small bubble high up, I mean, that's actually not a good sign. That means we have a deal that's fairly big, but there is not a lot of work being done on that particular deal. And when I look at a red dot, that means that deal has stalled. Here it shows this particular deal that's worth 20,000 is basically stuck, and there has been no activity for 2 months. So this is actually not good. Whereas when I look at this here, it's a bigger bubble and it's a $30,000 opportunity. So Nathan is on top of it, so which is a good thing. And when I look at this, the opportunity is a new state, so that it's possible that Isabella has not had a chance to follow up yet. But in the coming days, I would like to see the bubble grow in size and also the opportunity to advance further. Okay, and one of the rule of thumb that I use is that I do not want to see small red bubbles high up, because that means that the deal is stalled, and also there has been very little work that went into a big deal. All right, so this is a very, very important chart. Okay, let's look at the pipeline value. Now I'm looking at October, November, and December. So the blue here is showing the total pipeline amount that was there. A green, what my team managed to close, and red is what we actually lost. So October was actually okay, but when I look at November, it's a little bit of a concern because we're losing a lot of deals, almost as many as we are winning. And the fact that we also already lost a deal that was supposed to close in December. So November and December, there's something that I need to look at, and look through the opportunities, sit with my team and understand how we can make sure that we start to win a lot more deals. And also the pipeline amount is actually not too bad, since we are still only halfway, but given the Thanksgiving long weekend, etc. So this may fall short of what I'm expecting. Right, funnel progression. Okay, so this also gives me a clear indication on where the deals are. When I look at the funnel volume, new is fairly small compared to qualification. This is normal because a lot of our deals are pre-qualified and they start off in the qualification phase. So they would start here, so this is the biggest volume, and some of them actually start as new. If you started every deal from the new state, new would have a lot more deals in it. And the needs analysis, okay, as the funnel progresses, the conversions are okay, and then one of the things that I'm not too happy about is the ready to close is actually fairly small, because this is where we have done everything and my sales team actually believes that the deal should close. So here we have to drill down into the numbers, because that's where the real meat is. Now when I look at the sales stages on the left-hand side and the total number of opportunities that entered that sales stage, and how many actually progressed, and how many actually we ended up winning, and how many actually we ended up losing, and how many remained. As I go down this funnel, my win rate has to start increasing. One of the things that is surprising to me is that we had 49 deals that went through qualification, and 48 of those actually progressed, and we ended up winning 50% of them, so which is actually very good. And when I look down further, 22 out of 12 is actually okay, and I would have liked it to be a little bit higher. And then when I go to ready to close, and this sales volume is actually very small. I mean, we have only 2, but if this number were higher, and I would like to win at least 90% of the deals that are in ready to close. If we lose from ready to close, I need to understand why and what happened. In this case, we actually did not lose, but it still remained in the same state. Okay, so this is actually very important, because this tells me if there are any weaknesses in the sales funnel. If a lot of deals are dropping off from a particular sales stage, that is not good. Okay, now I'm going to move to the sales cycle duration. This is also a very important chart. I'm going to focus on Isabella and Nathan here. When we look at Isabella, it looks like she needs a lot of time in negotiation, whereas when I look at Nathan, he actually negotiates very fast. On the flip side, when I look at the value proposition phase, Isabella is able to do it very quickly, whereas Nathan actually takes a longer time. So what I would like to do is understand what it is that both Isabella and Nathan do to advance faster, right? In Isabella's case, she's able to do the value proposition very quickly. In Nathan's case, he's able to negotiate very quickly. I mean, there may be some secrets that I may and my team may actually discover. And the next step would be for me to sit down with them and understand what are the different best practices that they use to achieve these results, and share it with the rest of the team. The ideal scenario would be that Isabella has Nathan's negotiation skills, and the rest of the team also actually has the same skills, and the team and Isabella has Nathan's negotiation skills, sorry, and Isabella's value proposition skills. Okay, now finally let's look at the sales results. So some of this is already obvious, because we had actually seen some of this data before. Isabella and Samir had done very well in October, and in November we still have a couple of weeks left, and it's not looking as good as I would have liked it to be. And in December, Emily has actually closed an opportunity that was supposed to close in December already. So I mean, that's a good thing. That's what we are seeing here. So it may be a little bit confusing, since every deal that I'm looking at here is based on the expected close date. If my team ends up closing a deal that was expected to close in December, it would actually show up in the chart. So that it's very clear that there was a deal that was expected to close in December that was actually closed prior, and that's why it's actually showing up in this chart. Okay, finally, we're going to look at lost reasons. Now, missing features looks like a serious issue, because almost close to 40% of the deals were lost because of missing features. And the other one, usability, price is actually okay. Timing is something that I would like to understand, because our follow-ups and also when the customer is ready, whether we were too early in the sales cycle, whether we joined the evaluation later on. So that's something that I need to understand. And unknown is something that I don't like, because I would like this to be less than 5%, because we need to understand why we are losing deals. And if in 20% of the cases if we don't, that's actually not a good sign. Let me go back here. I'm going to jump back to overview. So I've actually covered pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. And as you can see, in 20 minutes, you can actually find out a lot about your sales team performance, your sales funnel health, and everything you want to know. Okay, very good. Thanks everybody. I think we had a very good session, a lot of questions. I think we went through the webinar fairly quickly. I think once you start using Sales Insights, I think you'll quickly see that you'll start to depend on it, and we actually use it extensively, for our own sales team. All right, thanks a lot.